Evening, everybody. It is 5:52 on this Thursday afternoon, and this is your closing comment video number 2002. Um, was an interesting day. Clearly, it was all AI all day. Google, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, AMD, all substantially higher, pulling the NASDAQ up in a huge way. NASDAQ was clearly the big winner, up 193 and change, 1.37%. Everything else was up, but nothing like that. Um, the Dow was up $63.17. S&P was up 36 and change, 0.80. The Russell was up 1620.87, and the transports were up just under 70, and that was 0.45. Advanced declines were 2 to 1 on the American and 3 to 2 on the NASDAQ. Volume was 5.7, which was up from yesterday's 5.1, but still dragging well behind the 6.2 and 6.3 numbers that we saw at the end of last week. After the close, we had Lululemon. These are going to astound you with their volatility. Lululemon beat on revenues but guided down. The stock had closed at 465, up 4 and change. It moved down to 429, which was $30. Right now, it's trading 453.38, down 730 or 1.6%. DocuSign went the other way. They beat top and bottom line, and they guided up. The stock had closed 47.45. It moved up to 52.18. Currently trading at the low of the day, just off the low of the day, 45.47. It's only down 36 cents, but the stock was $7 higher. Restoration Hardware with a miss. This one's been all over the place. 281.40, up $1.52 at the close on their double miss and poor guidance. 252.03 on the low. The last there, that one has held at the bottom. 256.84, that's down 23.04. And Broadcom, AVGO, closed 918, missed, but the headline was strong. And the stock went from 918 to 942, and then down to 889, 889.51. The last on that one, 921, up 1736. So, these things have just been all over the place. And it shows you how inefficient price discovery has become in this non-investment, momentum driven speculation of a market. Tomorrow we have non-farm payrolls, average hourly earnings, average work weight rate, and the unemployment rate, and that's at 8:30. At 10 o'clock we have consumer sentiment, which I think ought to be pretty interesting. Um, of all of the sectors, on the strong side, most sectors were actually on the strong side, more mixed to higher on all my sectors, but solidly on the upside were biopharma, food supply chain, airline cruise lines. The outstanding one there, the biggest mover in my airline sector, is JetBlue, who came out with some very strong guidance to the upside. That stock has gotten pounded since the deal. and it closed or it's trading right now 544.71. That's up 15%, so very strong there. Retail was higher, work from anywhere was higher, infrastructure was higher. I think it'll be easier just give you the ones that were down. Pot was down, energy was down, um, defense was slightly lower, and remarkably a lot of the small um, AI stocks. In contrast, I've been leaning on this a lot. These little guys are barely going to get the crumbs. The big guys are absolutely going to dominate this very important area. And while BOTZ, BOTZ, which is the ETF, was up 18 cents at 26.54, C3AI down almost 11%, 26 down 316, and all the little ones were lower. So that's the kind of day we had. As far as the futures go, I still really like the way that the wheat is acting. I'll give you a quick look at it because I think I'm going to put on a position tomorrow, possibly. Um, since bouncing off this bottom, which, by the way, is close to the bottom of the Bollinger Bands. We've had one, two, three, four, five, six, 7 consecutive days of higher lows and higher highs. Now, this morning, and by the way, this green line is the 200-day moving average. This morning, it was lower, and I thought it might come back in maybe to 608 or so, but it got down here to a slightly lower low, which was 621 after being, I think, 646 yesterday, 649 and a half yesterday. It got down to 621. And then there was a little bit of strength in the rest of the grains, which has been absent the entire time. The soybeans were higher, the corn was higher, oats were higher. In any event, this got down there and turned right back up. This is the first close above this 200-day moving average. I'm going to go show you how far back this is. This is the first close above it, really, since we broke below it in here. So this was 2022. So it's been a solid year that we've been consolidating under this. So I'm pretty impressed with that. I'd like to see it. I'd like to buy it pretty close to that line, maybe 635. That would be down about 7 cents. I'm not in a rush to do it. So if we don't get it tomorrow, I'll just watch it for next week. But I think that the long term trend, when take a look at it on the weekly, and you see how this MACD has really yet to cross to the upside, even though relative strength has. Um, you know, Thinking we could be in a new uptrend. And when this one trends, I will remind you what this looked like before. You know, we came down from, let's see, $13. We're currently trading half that. So we will see. I'll be back first thing in the morning. Oh, as far as the rest of the futures, after being down, up, down, the oil closed basically unchanged, down 4 cents. Nat gas was up a penny. The gold was down $1.50. This was really not a futures day. The only thing that really did get hurt was the dollar. closed 103.5, and that was down 60 cents. And the bonds ran into a little bit of resistance up there around 122 and closed down about 5/16 of a dollar. I'll be back in the morning, folks.